Welcome back to Miss Letter's Calculation Station where things add up. This is the Algebra 2 Final Review Part 2. This is a 4 out of 10 part series. We left off with question 1 yesterday, and I had accidentally, when I did the 5 squared and said it was 25, I also said a squared was 25, and that kind of threw me off. And I went back and I said, okay, a is not being squared, just the 5. So just to clarify on that, we did not square a, we just squared the negative 5, getting us the negative 6 over 25. Number 2, using the intercept form of the quadratic, I always like to rewrite my equation anytime they give it to me. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. I have y equals a parenthesis x minus p parentheses x minus q. Now, we've got the point xy here, and I always know my points or ordered pairs are always in that xy, so this must be p and q. So when in doubt, find what you know. I know that 2, negative 8 is that point, and these are intercepts, so they've got to be those other random letters right there. So I'm just going to plug in y, x, p, x again, right here, and q. So obviously I'm looking for the letter a because that's the only letter that it's not given. So I am going to solve for a. And when I plugged in, it was very important that you realize that when you put in your x minus p, that you had a minus negative. So watch those signs. So it was minus negative 4. And so 2 negatives made that giant positive there. So I kind of just combined a couple steps in one and said 2 minus negative 4 is 6, and 2 minus 6 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 6 gave me negative 24. And then I divided both sides by negative 24, giving me a is 1/3. Go ahead and flip it over. On number 3, we are solving by factoring, and it's very important that you know your ABCs. Remember, this is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. I like to say ABC equals 0, where you have a is 1, b is negative 16, and c is 63. So you have that A, B, C. Remember, if nothing's in front of the x squared, that means that there's one of them. There's one x squared. So you do 2 parentheses with ax in both, so you'll just put in 1x in both. And you would say 2 numbers that multiply for a times c and add up to b. So I did all the factors of a times c, and 1 times 63, 2 times 21, 4 times 16. They all gave me AC, which is 63, but I had to find the numbers that would add up to 16, and I got 9 and 7. 9 plus 7 gives me 16. Now, we had to use the rules of multiplication, so I have a positive times a positive gives me a positive, 2 negatives is a positive, and a plus minus is a negative. So in order for me to multiply 2 numbers and get a positive and add and get a negative, we had to use, 2 numbers that multiply to give you a positive, and when you add them, same sign, add and keep. You want to keep the sign of the bigger number. We use this one. So we had negative 9 times negative 7 gives me positive 63. Same sign, add and keep. And we have x is 9 and x is 7 for our 2 answers. I think I made that a little bit more complicated than it was. On number 4, it says, what's the correct factorization? Same thing. I did a times c is 12. 2 numbers that multiply to AC and add up to b was 2 and 6.